Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Phylida Seamaster Professional Homage. I picked this up on the 11/11 sale, and this is the new 2020 version. So you'll notice, if you want to be able to tell the difference easily, just look at this crown. See how it kind of tapers down a little bit. The old one is more just a traditional circular crown, so it has no taper to it. So that's the one thing you can look at real quick to tell whether you've got this one. And the seller has assured me that these are all updated on the AliExpress store. So if you are at all interested in this, I will be leaving a link down in the description. That'll be an affiliate link. If you do use it, I really appreciate it, guys. So yeah, let's get on to the review. So first thing, I just want to let you guys know I am using a new camera setup. So let me know if this is not working good for some reason, if the audio is funny or what, and maybe I can go back to using the old camera. But I was just having way too many issues with that old camera. So the case diameter on this, I did get a new set of batteries for this caliper. So let's see, it is 40.5, about 41 millimeters. There you go. It is 14 millimeters thick. The lug width is 20 millimeters. And the lug to lug, 46.7. So it wears really compact. I was not really sure, I'm so used to the sub cases, so I wasn't sure how I'd like this, but I really like this case, guys. The finishing on this case is done really well. It's a mixture of brushed and polished, and I think maybe just a machine finish. Like on the scallops on this bezel, I think are just machined. They don't really have a brushing effect to them at all. The top of the bezel, not the insert, but the actual top of the bezel itself, is a circular brushed. Then you've kind of got this like coarse brushing on the sides here, on both sides. Really nicely done. And then you've got the twisted lug design. It's all polished, so it kind of comes up and scoops over the crown guards here. This crown tucks in really nicely there, but it's easily accessible because you got nothing on the bottom. So we'll get to the crown in a little bit. And then you've also got this nice chamfer on the bottom side of these, on the bottom side of the case, and that kind of makes this look a lot slimmer than, 14 millimeters is a pretty thick watch, but this one wears a lot slimmer than that. And then you do have a unsigned helium escape valve crown. I couldn't get a straight answer out of the seller. It does unscrew, but he didn't say whether it was an actual functioning helium valve. I'm assuming it's not, but it does unscrew, so take that for what it is. This watch is 200 meters water resistant, so that's nice. That's an upgrade from the old case. We'll do this crown right now. So this is it's an unsigned crown. It's a good size, nice and easy to grip, unscrews really smoothly, and it operates either a Miyota 8215 or a DG 2813. I opted for the DG movement. It's a clone of the Miyota. However, it does have hacking. The Miyota is kind of hit or miss if it has hacking or not, so I opted for the DG. I thought I'd save, looks like about $15 or $16. The DG movement is $93, and the Miyota is $109. So I'm not a big fan of the Miyota, so I just opted for the DG. I've had good success with it. This one is running 8 seconds a day, so again, I got no issues with it. So let's get to the bezel. The bezel on this one, it's got the scallops, kind of like the Seamaster. Everything aligns pretty well. It's maybe just slightly off. It's really not that bad. This is as bad as I can get it. So it's just a hair off. And one thing I do like is that this triangle pip here is actually aligned with the scallop. Sometimes I see them off a little bit, so that's a nice attention to detail that they got right. The action on the bezel, let's talk about that. So this is it's going to be hard with these gloves, but it's a 120 click. Nice kind of a snappy sound to it. Yeah, there's not much back play at all. So you can see I'm rocking it back and forth. There's not a whole lot of back play, which is really good. Like I said, it's kind of hard to grip with these gloves on. But I hate fingerprints, so. There's no like wobble in the bezel up or down this way. It does, if you press on the top here, you do get a little bit of bounce, but it's so minimal that it's a non-issue. And it's only on the top, it's not down here. This is solid. So no issues with the bezel. The insert is a ceramic insert, and all these engravings are done really nicely, and it's fully loomed, so that's even better. It's really, it's a pretty cool effect, and the loom on the bezel is really, really good. Very bright. It's like a bluish green color, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So let's zoom into this dial real quick. So as you can see, it's got the wave texture to it. It's a matte dial. I wish they would have gone glossy, but yeah, it's just a matte dial. Looks really cool. Those waves kind of disappear in some lighting and then really show up in other lighting. So I really like the dial. It's got black Phylida printing and automatic. I wish it almost seems a little too empty. So I would have liked them to advertise that 200 meters, maybe in red to match the second hand. I don't know, just something I'd like to see. But it's it looks pretty good. And the reason I went with this one is because it's got, the seller assured me that it has black hands and black indexes. So I've seen a similar one from Bleeger with, it's almost a silvery dial, and then blue indexes and blue hands, and I didn't want that. I wanted this white on black. I like the contrast, and this one works pretty good. It's a polished, kind of a chrome black, and it looks really, really good. So you can see the double baton indexes at the 12 o'clock, they're lined nicely. All the other ones are lined nicely. The circular indexes there, you can see the loom on it is kind of almost bubbling over. So they've really packed the loom in those things. And here's a loom shot. This is next to my San Martin. It looks really, really good. The San Martin absolutely destroys it on initial charge, but surprisingly, the check after about 5 or 6 hours, they're about the same brightness. So I was really happy with the loom. The dark blue on the dial, it's never super bright, but it does last a long time. So I was happy to see that. And it's got the skeletonized hour and minute hand, nicely sized. I think that second hand reaches all the way out to the minute track here. And yeah, I've got no complaints with the handset on this. It's really, really nice. And then you got a date window at 3, which is nice. Just it's centered in there nicely. I think there's some chamfering that goes on in that window, but it's really not noticeable on this dial, at least. And then you've got kind of this tiny little index here, which might be just a hair off. I can't really tell, but again, not a big deal. The glass on this, it's a double dome sapphire, so you can see at some extreme angles it kind of looks like the dial kind of folds down. That's a sign of being a double dome sapphire. It's got a chamfer around the edge there. It's slightly raised from the bezel, and yeah, it looks really good. On this white dial, I'm not really missing the anti-reflective coating, so maybe on some different colors it would be an issue, but on this one it's really not. So we already talked about the movement. I've had no issues with that. So let's talk about the bracelet. The bracelet is composed of solid end links, solid links. It's got a unusual sizing system. So you see we got a screw on one side and a screw on the other side, and these are the world's tiniest screws. And then you've got a bar in between. So these two screws kind of hold that bar in the middle. Once I kind of figured out how to do it, it was not really a big issue. But yeah, just something to keep in mind. I found the easiest way to size this is to remove those two screws, pop out the thing, pop out the pin, remove your links, put it all back together, put one screw in, and then drop the bar in one side, and then put the other screw in, because I had to drop out the other side a couple times. So yeah, you do have it doesn't taper at all, so it's 20 millimeters all the way through, and that kind of adds to the weight of this thing. This is 160 grams as opposed to like 145 of some of the sub homages, so it's quite a bit heavier. It feels really good. These links here, it's actually like a 9 link. You got the 2 on the outside. These little links here are composed of 3 each, because these polish bits are actually separate little pieces. So really nicely done though. The brushing on it is good. The polishing on it is good. This is one of the better bracelets I've seen from Phylida, so really happy with it. The clasp on this, oh, and you do also have half links on both sides, so you shouldn't have a problem getting a good fit on this thing. The clasp on this, it's a typical Phylida clasp. It's unsigned, unfortunately. It's all brushed except for you got this nice polished chamfer that runs down the side here. No sharp edges on it that I could really see. Very nicely done. The machining of it it's simple but functional. It works really good. I've got no problems with the clasp, and it does have a true diver's extension, so you got about an inch of extra extension here. Yeah, everything works as you would expect. So let's get this thing on the wrist, and you can see here it fits me really good. I got 7 1/4 inch wrists. The curvature of the lugs really hugs the wrist nicely, and you know, it doesn't feel like a 14 millimeter thick watch. And I think that's the big thing to take away from this is, you know, you see that number and it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. And so let's talk about some of the quality control issues. So like I said, I had a little bit of a misalignment on this bezel, but it's so minor. It's really not an issue. And then at this 9 o'clock index, I would say it's maybe missing like a layer of lume. It's not quite as bright as the other ones, but again, I can still see it in the middle of the night. So there you have it, guys. That's the Phylida Seamaster Professional Homage. If you guys are interested in this, I'm going to be putting a link down in the description, like I said. That will be an affiliate link, and if you use it, I really appreciate it, guys. It's going to help me get some more watches in for review, and yeah, we'll do some giveaways and stuff like that when I get to some milestones. And if you're interested in more pictures of this and maybe on some different straps, I'm also going to leave my Instagram down below. Like I said, if you are following me on there, you'll know that I went camping and I took this watch camping with me, and I had it on a black NATO. I think it looks awesome on the NATO. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. And also leaving a thumbs up if you like the content. If you guys just want to leave a question or comment below, please do so. I'll try my absolute best to reply to all you guys. And all right, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.